All right, guys, I'm going to go over lesson 4.6 Explore so you know what you're doing if you're at home and didn't get to hear the directions or you just forgot what the directions were. So question 1 is saying the organized list shows, which this is an organized list, all the possible outcomes for 3 fair coin flips. Coins are flipped. So fair coin just means it's heads or tails. There's no cheating. It's just a regular coin. And they flipped it 3 times. So, for example, they got heads, 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 tails, heads, tails, heads, and so on and so forth. These are just the different combinations you can get from flipping a coin 3 times. The possible outcomes of each flip are heads, H, and tails, T. What is the probability that exactly 1 fair coin lands heads up when 3 are flipped? So you flipped a coin 3 times. What is the probability of getting 1 heads? You only want 1. So remember, and you might want to write this on the top of your paper, probability is the event you want. In this case, our probability would be what? And again, it says you want 1 heads. So we're going to say 1 heads. And then you're going to have to figure out what that is as a fraction. But you're probably whatever event you want. And it's going to be your favorable outcome over your total outcomes. And so you're going to tell me, well, what is the favorable outcome? And you can leave it as a fraction. You don't have to make it fancy or anything like that. Just leave it as a fraction. If you want to turn it into a percent or a decimal, you're more than welcome to. But I say just leave it as a fraction, make your life easier. It's totally acceptable. This one, it says, the table shows the possible outcomes of spinning a pointer of the spinner shown at the right and tossing a fair coin. So what they want you to find is the probability of 1H. Well, that just means you've got a 1 on the spinner and heads when you flip the coin. You need to look at the table they've already built for you and figure out, well, what is my probability? What's my favorable and what is my total? On number 3, it says a fair coin with sides printed heads and tails is flipped. So this just means a regular coin. And a golf ball is randomly selected from the bucket that contains 2 yellows and 5 white golf balls. You need to develop a complete probability model to describe all the possible outcomes in the sample space. They just want you to list the sample space. So you can do that by making a tree diagram, you can do it by a table, or you can just do an organized list. Whatever way you want to do is fine. I do recommend that you make sure you can either say, you need to say yellow, yellow, white, 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 white. Those are all you need, or you can give them numbers. You can say this is yellow 1, this is yellow 2, that's white 1, white 2, white 3, white 4, white 5. You don't have to do that, but you just need to make sure you're accounting for all of this. This would be your event 2, because you flip the coin first, and for the coin you need to know, well, it's going to be heads or tails. So those are your options for event 1. These are your options for event 2. And let me make sure I write 2. And you don't have to write that part. It's just so you know. These are the options for event 1. These are the options for event 2. You're not going to write 2Y and then 5Y. And it's not just 2 options. You have 2 yellows, which is yellow, yellow, and you have 2 whites, white, 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 white. So make sure when you're including that, that's what you should add. And then you're going to make your sample space here just like they did up here and just like they did up here. I'm sorry, right here. So you need to make sure you have a sample space listing off all the possible outcomes that you can get from flipping a coin and picking one of these golf balls. And then B says, what is the probability that a coin lands tails up and a white golf ball is selected? So you need to tell me, again, it should be a fraction saying favorable over total outcomes. Now this one says the tree diagram below shows all of the possible varieties of a t-shirt available in small, medium, large, and in the colors blue and yellow. So again, this means this is small. They have small blue, small yellow, medium yellow, large blue, large yellow. So you need to tell me what's the probability that you get a medium t-shirt or a yellow t-shirt. Remember, this or is very, very important. That's saying it doesn't have to be both of them. It only has to be one of them. So it could be a medium blue, and that's okay because it meets the requirement of being a medium. But large blue would not work because it's not a medium or a yellow t-shirt. So it has to be yellow or it has to be a medium. It could be both, and that's okay too because that means it meets both of those requirements, but it has to be at least one of these two. And it is randomly selected, so you tell me what is the probability. Again, it should be a fraction favorable over the total outcomes. If you have questions, let me know in an email or through Canvas messages. All right, guys, bye.